Hello and welcome to my channel, and welcome to Devon in the southwest of England. We're out on a 2-hour hike today, somewhere, I'm actually not sure where we are really. I think we caught a train into Exeter, St David's, and then we got a bus and came about 20 miles north of Exeter in the direction of Tiverton. So I think we're just in a very rural location, and I'm hoping we'll see some nice scenery. For November it's very warm, but we've also had a lot of rain lately, so I don't know whether we're going to have to contend with lots of puddles and mud and so on, but we will see. But I am hoping that we will enjoy this walk, and it's the first video I've made in a little while, and I kind of got the urge to bring the camera along today and share this with you. It's been 2 or 3 weeks since I last made a video, and that one was set in Spain, and I was walking around a beautiful town called Frigilana. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it right, but anyway, somewhere in the Malaga area. And I was explaining why I was looking forward to coming back to England, and all the reasons why I'm glad I chose England and not Spain or Portugal to live in. And 2 or 3 weeks later, I still feel the same, I think. I have to admit that there's been a lot of rain since we got back, so there has been the odd day when I've been missing Spain. And also, I've been missing Germany a little bit lately. The BBC have just started, well, this season the BBC have started showing a live Bundesliga game every Friday night, and I have been really enjoying watching those. It's given me a little taste of Germany, and the only thing I wish was that they did the commentary in German, and then I really would feel like I was back there. So I thought I'd share a few little updates and thoughts with you, as I often do in my videos that tend to be rather unstructured and perhaps not your typical kind of vlog, I'm not sure. So where shall I start? Maybe I'll start with the simple things of what have I been doing lately. Right, so this week has been a really good week actually. Done something I've never done before, which I always look forward to, because you always tend to learn something or experience something different on those occasions. And I went to a poetry evening, and it was organised by the Teignmouth Writers, which is a group I'm part of, and we all gathered in a small art gallery, and there was about maybe 20 of us, and members of the audience just got up and recited their poetry. I can see the sky clearly, but not the ground. It makes me wonder whether I've got the settings wrong, and I doubt we'll be able to see those birds all gathered over there by the river, but you'll get to see them with your new binoculars. There we are. Sorry about that, we just stopped to look at some birds. I'm also concerned that the settings on my camera aren't correct, because looking at the little viewfinder in front of me, the colours don't look great, but anyway, I'll carry on going. So my poetry evening. Yeah, it was just wonderful. The ambience and vibe of the place was just so relaxing and so inspiring. The poems were a real mixture, as you would expect when there are maybe 8 or 9 different people that read their poetry out. Some of the poems were really deep and meaningful and made you think. Others were extremely funny, and others were just interesting or entertaining. And I've never been very good at poetry, never taken much interest in it. So I was definitely out of my comfort zone in such a small setting as well, where we all sort of contributed in some way or other to the evening. But I'm so glad I went. It was like, I don't know, it was as though you were at a small concert or a small play, you know, where it was very intimate. It was such a small audience. You felt part of what was going on. And the setting, we were surrounded by great artwork in a little room with dimmed lights. And so I just felt so relaxed. I had a couple of glasses of wine as well, which helped me to relax. And yeah, it was just a wonderful evening. And I feel so lucky to be part of this group of talented people who, yeah, they create all sorts of things, you know, artwork, books, poems, and I just love being part of this group, even though I've not published a book myself yet. They are, or being with them on a regular basis is really encouraging me to press ahead and finish my own book. And maybe that's the next thing I'll talk about. So I've been really busy working on my autobiography / family memoir. If you saw the video I made maybe 1 or 2 months ago when I was walking around Bristol, you will know that I sent my book to a fellow writer and asked them to critique it. And they gave me some feedback that was quite hard to take to begin with, but it's really helped me enormously. So since then I've taken out some of the writing that my mother and grandmother wrote, and I have put a lot more in there about my own life, and I've found that a really enlightening and interesting experience. And I've completely restructured the book. It contains probably about 70% of the writing that was included in the version I sent out to family and friends about a year ago. But it's still a major update, and it's got a new name, so I've been designing a cover for it. I'm still not completely sure about the title of the book. I came up with the latest version about 2 days ago, and I think I need to let it sit and breathe for a while and then come back to it in a week or two and see if I still like it. But yeah, so really enjoying all of that. Gosh, I can't even see my wife. I hope I'm going down the right path now, because hold on a moment. Where is she? Yeah, where are you? So I'll go to the right. Oh, I can see you. I know, sorry. I was trying to get my camera set up. I wasn't happy with the settings, and I'm still not an expert in using this camera. I couldn't figure it out. So in the end I installed some new firmware, which meant I was stood there for about 10 minutes trying to wait for it to download and install. Yeah, so what was I saying? So that's the book. I'd like to finish a final draft of the book by Christmas, and then do all of the things that need to be done to finish it off and publish it in the early part of next year. And the reason I've set myself this little goal is I want to start some new projects. Although I love my writing so much and this writing group, that I think I'll carry on doing some writing, but just different writing. I don't know whether it will be a different book, or whether I'll maybe have a go at doing some Substack or some blogging. Or Substack I've never used, but everyone talks about Substack these days, so maybe I'll write a couple of articles for that, or I don't know, but I'd like to do something a little different. But also I've got it in my mind that I probably should get myself a little job as well. I'm in a very privileged position in that I was able to finish work at a fairly young age and have some time off to try out some of these creative pursuits and try and sort out my health. For those of you who've seen the channel before will know that I've had a few health issues this year, which I've now, touch wood, recovered from. Isn't that lovely? Oh, it's so tranquil here. I think this must be the River Exe. I'm almost certain it is. And it's quite incredible when you look at this here. It's a fairly small river, but this morning we travelled along the estuary of the same river, and it is huge there, and it's only about half an hour away. So the rivers down here seem to get very big very quickly. Sorry, I'm talking and I'm not looking at the camera. Yeah, so the rivers here in Devon, they seem to be quite short, but they very quickly become extremely wide. And I guess that's because there's not much land mass here. It's a sort of a fairly narrow peninsula, and we're surrounded by sea. So the tide comes in and swells the mouths of the rivers. But yeah, lovely to be in this area where it's a very different scenery to what we're used to on the coast. Much greener and more tranquil. Right, what was I saying? What was I saying? Oh, the need to get a job. Yeah. So I am, as I say, I'm very lucky that I have enough money to live from day to day without working. But I hope I've got a long retirement ahead, and we don't own anything. Don't own a house, don't own a car, don't have many possessions. And I feel I need to do something to create more financial security for my family and myself even. So I haven't quite figured that out yet. But I have it in my mind that I might get myself a little job next year. And you know, at one point I did think maybe I could make money from YouTubing or from writing or something like that, but it's not worked out that way. Bear with me a second. Where's my wife gone now? Hold on, we're in a lovely little village, but I've no idea where she is. Oh gosh, this is a bit of a problem, this making these videos. Maybe she's gone in this. Oh, can I see her? Oh, the public footpath. Ah, she's down here. Okay. Goodness me. Sorry about that. Yeah, so YouTube hasn't made me any money at all. So, I mean, I've been doing this for just over a year now, and my channel isn't monetised yet. I haven't met the minimum criteria that's needed to actually start earning money. And I did make a bit of an effort in the early days to see if I could grow my channel and generate some income. But then I got a bit tired of it. I felt I wasn't being my genuine self. And so I kind of rebelled a little bit against the I don't know, conventional wisdom or what people recommend you do to grow your channel. So what do they tell you? They say you should have a hook at the start of your video to really captivate your audience and make them want to stick with the video. You should have a thumbnail that entices them to click on it. Well, I hate clickbait. I feel people often over-dramatise what is included within the video in order to get you to click on it, and that's just not my style. I prefer to be... Okay, thanks. I prefer to be a little humble and gentle, and to let people watch my videos if they want to and not watch them if they don't want to. So that's probably not the right approach if you want to make money. Additionally, I never share my videos, or rarely. I only ever kind of tell someone my YouTube channel if they ask me, but I don't put it on my Facebook page or anything like that. And I don't post according to a schedule, so I think the algorithm rewards you if you are very predictable in terms of the frequency of your videos and the content of them. So mine are a little bit random. I just post them when I feel like it and talk about things that, yeah, are a little bit all over the place really. Like this video now, what on earth will I call it? I mean, I've just talked about so many different things, and it's not the only thread that runs through this is me and my life, and that's hard to put into a title that's going to attract too many views. So anyway, all that means is I'm not sure I'll ever make money from YouTube, and I probably will be the same when I publish my book. I'll put it out there, but knowing me, I won't do too much to promote it, which is a shame, because that means, oh gosh, a lovely church here. That means a lot of people who might like my book will not get to discover it. So perhaps I need to change my attitude with that and do something to push it. But we'll see. The first thing is to actually finish the thing. Okay. So now we're walking around a very old looking churchyard. So we just had a lovely picnic, or some sandwiches at least, overlooking the church, and now we're going to continue our walk, just heading into a very pretty looking village. So nice to listen to the quieter birds here. The seagulls where we live make a lot of noise, but here there's something very beautiful and calming about the little songs they sing and the noises they make. It's making me feel so happy, this walk. Getting out in nature is so good for you. So an hour before we started this hike, I did a park run, and I really pushed myself to try and beat my personal best. I never quite managed it. I thought I might have done, but I never quite managed it. But I did run my fastest time this year, which is a great achievement considering I've had surgery this year. So I'm back to running quicker than I was running before my operation. So I'm delighted about that. Just out of interest, I think my time was 28 minutes and 30 for a 5k run. So not bad, although these days I'm not running as far as I used to run before my operation. Partly because I lost interest in half an hour out running is enough for me, not from a physical perspective, but I just start to get bored these days when I'm out for longer. We are in the most delightful area. I wonder how much the houses are here. Probably too expensive for me. So I've recently been reflecting on my volunteering work, and in some ways I feel like I've gone full circle, and I always kind of enjoy trying to connect all the dots in my life. And what it is, when I first started work, I did manual work, but once I started working in the offices, the first job I ever had was helping a local council in the West Midlands to introduce a new computer system. In fact, almost everything back then was paper-based, so there weren't any computers really. And I had a fairly enthusiastic manager who saw the benefits of computerising some of our processes, and I discovered that I had a bit of a flair for using computers. Don't know why that is. I never had a formal education in it, but I just dived right into it and very quickly became the council's expert and absolutely loved it. And the projects got bigger and bigger, and eventually I decided I needed to move on, so I left the council. It was a little bit heartbreaking really. I loved that place, but then I joined Parcel Force and eventually started leading some projects that were all about introducing track and trace into the company. So this was where you had to scan the parcels when they were collected, when they arrived at the sorting office, when they arrived at the local delivery depot, and when they were finally delivered. And all that information was passed back to people who were responsible for the operations and customer services, so that people could see where their parcel was and also get an expected time of delivery. So all fairly standard stuff by today's standards, but back then it was all new technology, and took quite a lot of effort actually to get all the different people, the drivers. I mean, the thousands of people were involved, drivers and sorting staff, and trying to get them to take the time to scan the parcels, but also for people to put on the barcodes, or put barcodes onto the parcels so that they could be scanned. Was a huge challenge, but I enjoyed that. And then I moved into mobile phones, so I left Parcel Force, joined a company called One to One, and one of the big projects there was developing the technology needed to allow companies to use their phones abroad. And well, I can't claim to have developed the technology, but I was involved in implementing the technology. So yeah, it was all very exciting when customers could first use their phones abroad. And once again, all run-of-the-mill stuff today, but back then it was exciting, and we were trailblazing, trying new things, and it was just so exciting. Loved all of that. Then I went to Germany and worked for Deutsche Telekom in Germany, and was involved in some technology projects there as well. Things like having the ability to store your pictures in the cloud, and pay for goods in the shop using your mobile phone. So there were those kind of product launches I was responsible for. And there were some internal projects aimed at automating some of our systems and processes. So whilst almost all my projects had a human aspect to them, it wasn't just technology, it was about helping people to embrace this technology and giving them the confidence and the ability to be able to use it, and helping them to appreciate the benefits of it. the bigger the projects became, the more disconnected I became from the people that needed to use the technology. We can try and go through it.
Really dirty. It goes in my shoes, that's the trouble.
It's not deep mud. And there are some stones as well. It's not too bad. Oh gosh, what was I saying? Sorry about this. You can see why my YouTube channel has not been monetised yet, can't you? What was I saying? Okay, yeah, the full circle. So, started off very small projects back in the West Midlands, helping individuals to use new technology. Moved through my career, the projects got bigger and bigger, and I became more and more disconnected from the end users. Then I retired, and now I am volunteering and helping local people to use technology. So it's almost the same as what I was doing when I was back in the Midlands. And I'm loving it, really loving it. But it's lovely to be able to get to know people who have followed different paths to myself, and to see the joy on their faces when they realise they can use computers or they can use smartphones, and when they feel they're learning and growing and developing, and they inspire me. I'm having to learn to be better at communicating, to adjust the pace of what I'm teaching people to the needs of the individual, to be a bit more structured in my communication and my preparation for these meetings. And I'm having to learn new technical skills, because quite often they will want help with something that I don't use on a regular basis. So for example, I tend to use more Apple products than Microsoft ones, but quite a lot of the people I help use Microsoft or Google or Android. So I'm loving learning about these new bits of technology. I guess I'm a little bit of a geek, really. But it does make me wonder, when I look for a little job next year, whether maybe I can't put this to use in a proper working environment. So in other words, whether I'd like to carry on doing the volunteering, but on a part-time basis. Maybe I can find a way to put these skills to use and to get paid for helping people. But we'll see how that all pans out. So I think I will leave it there. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to share with you. But thanks for watching, if you've watched this far. I hope you're well wherever you are. Look after yourselves, and I'll upload another video soon. Okay, take care then. Bye.